All right, we added it there. Maybe some people will jump in. We'll give it a minute or two. We got some good topics today. We're talking Super Bowl halftime show which apparently was dedicated to Black culture. Candace Owens loved it. I loved it. How many people on the screen love the halftime show?
I loved the halftime show.
It was amazing.
I thought it was fantastic.
Suni, like a drifter, she was born to walk alone on that one. She's like, yo, old.
I'm young. Shit, I didn't grow up on Dr. Dre and all them. I don't know them artists like that.
Oh, he said that you were saying you all are old.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. She prefers mumble rap.
You can't be from SoCal and not know
Okay. We're gonna also talk about who might run against Biden because his approval rating is so low in the DNC and the Democratic voters that we don't even think a sitting president will win his own primary. Do they even? Is there actually a primary when you're actually in office?
Yes.
For presidential, it's just never been an issue.
Yeah, it's just usually the sitting president is never challenged. So it's the fact that he could potentially get primaried is massively funny.
That's insane. And do you think he goes to bed at night like 47 years and now I finally made it to the presidency and now not only do I apparently sound like George Bush, but I go to bed every night with everybody hating me. Everybody hates me.
No. He goes to bed at night thinking about little girls. We all know that.
You mean his daughter?
That was a curveball. That was creepy. We're not talking about Hunter Biden and his niece. That was weird, Casey. We're going to talk about, vaccinations. 6 month to 5 year old that got postponed. The hearing with the FDA. All right, Casey, did you get to the Competes Act, or we just
I'm still going through it.
It's all 2,200 pages. Well, on the upside, Casey went and got his special attic kit, so he's got a crack pipe, so he is able to stay up and read all 2,200 pages. We're going to talk about Justin Trudeau. That was not on the original list, but we feel like we got to talk about it because he is essentially decided as of today, he is now the dictator of Canada. Durham Report, obviously, number one topic. We'll talk about that throughout the show. What we know, we actually finally do have some copies of it. For everybody out there, do us a huge favor. We're 5 minutes in. If you are watching, Casey, do me a huge favor. Put the link to this show on the other Truth Will Set You Free YouTube channel. Where's everybody watching from? Let's see. Okay, we don't have a ton of people, honestly, watching from the old YouTube, so that's good. But if you are, Casey's going to put it up there, and he's going to tell you where to go. We'll switch that over once we start talking about Schmaxinations. With that said, guys, let's go ahead and get the party started. It's time to start Truth Will Set You Free, episode number 942. I actually don't know what episode it is. What's going on, everybody? It is episode number 87 of Truth Will Set You Free, weekly conversation. If you can't tell, we've rebranded the page. It is no longer Be The Change. We have a separate Be The Change. If you want to find that, just Be The Change USA or at Be The Change USA or Be The Change, separate words, etc. You can find it there. That's our positivity page. Truth Will Set You Free is a Be The Change division, and it is the political page. It is where we talk about politics, what's going on. We're going to give some truckers updates. We're going to talk about Justin Trudeau. We're going to talk about the Super Bowl, Durham Report, who might run against Biden in the primary because he's so bad amidst the Democratic Party. And let's see, V word, 6 month to 5 year olds. And is the crack pipe that we discussed last week a true story? Because we had some feedback on that. Hopefully Gully Bull and his left butt will make this episode. Do us a huge favor, hit the share button. We have a lot of people watching, which is great, but we don't have a lot of thumbs up and hearts. So do us a favor at the count of 5. We're going to count down from 5. Everybody put your hands up. Everybody's going to hit the like button. If you are watching on YouTube, swipe the comments to the side. You can make a comment. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bam. Suni. Hit the button.
Yeah.
Hit the button.
Okay.
The sound
Hit the
effect button.
Oh, you're not being descriptive. Hit the button. There's a lot of buttons over here.
You sound like Kelly. Yes, I am.
There.
Okay.
What happened to the?
It sounded like a honk.
I know.
You caught me off guard. All right. I wasn't ready.
Where's the
You said hit the button, I'm like,
pew?
This.
There we go.
There we go. That's saved now for when you need to cut off Kevin. Okay. Any updates? If you guys want to watch us on, if you guys don't want to watch us and you want to listen to us on podcasts, go to #BeTheChange.com/podcast. That's a great way to support us. And if you want to be a Patreon, go to patreon.com/BeTheChangeUSA. We are going to also have another offer for kind of similar stuff. With the Great American Syndicate coming up soon. If you become a syndicate member by the next week from now, we're going to have that offer, and it'll kind of encompass everything from Be the Change Syndicate, whatever we can give. Anyways, what other? Oh, housekeeping. AwakeNotWokeStore.com. We've got the trucker stuff. I actually was hoping to wear mine today, but it has not come in the mail so that I could show it off. So you'll probably see it in a video tomorrow when it comes in the mail. But if you get any of the trucker stuff, 10% will go to wherever we can donate it on the Convoy. I don't know where that's going to go just yet. If it's Give, Send, Go, we don't know. But we'll hold it on the side to see how we can help out. And secondly, it's 20% off if you use the code word Convoy still, which will be probably done by next week. Probably by the end of the weekend. All right. Do us a favor. Lastly, in the comments, do some kind of comment. Tell us where you're calling in from. Calling in? That's weird. Are we talking radio in 1987? Hey, this is WPXYJ. Where y'all calling in from?
You got to do Art. You got to do like Art Bell voice. You know Art Bell?
How old are you, Mo?
Hey, caller.
How
What
old
city
am
are you
No,
from?
dude. I used to listen to Art Bell's like UFO radio. Like, you know when he was talking about UFOs in Area 51?
Sooney's in the upper corner going like, I was friends with Mo until I just realized that she's as old as a dinosaur.
Hey, bringing in that older crowd.
Well, play to your demographic. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the show started. Anybody got any news before we get popping? Big news? Anything? Wow. Exciting. Mo did her hair. Did her hair
I just straightened it.
Phew. Man, and
I'm muted. This is what happens when I smoke before a show. Good Lord.
It didn't happen.
First time, shut up.
Snoop smoked before his show. I love that one Twitter thing where they like the person put the clip up like, I had respect for Snoop until I saw this and he was smoking weed before he went on. It's like clearly did not know who Snoop Dogg was.
Weed is from the earth. God put it here for us to partake in. And it has medicinal effects. That's just it.
Okay.
I agree.
If you smoke too much, you can get dumb. Like I did a little bit too much and I feel dumb right now. This show's probably going to be a shit show for me. I'm just giving you a heads up now.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. All right. Well, let's before the high really kicks in. Let's talk about let's talk Super Bowl.
Stoners over here.
You know, okay. I'm actually gonna tell a story about weed real quick. So I'm gonna tell a story about
marijuana before.
I'm gonna tell a story about the reefer.
Right? We're so square.
I'm not that
He's the
square.
straightest edge I've ever seen.
Okay,
Actually,
square. So the other, this is where I start to feel square. So I was speaking at an event in Kansas City this last week, and there was like a homecoming day. I don't know, homecoming, whatever there is in February. Oh, I guess Valentine's dance. I don't know. These were high school kids, and I will tell, like freshman year. I'm going to tell you right now, their dads were there taking pictures, all this stuff. There wasn't a single girl whose dress was within 6 inches of the palm test. Mm-hmm. They were barely past their gummazy gum. Like they were just barely past the ass cheek.
Toast coming out the toaster.
Honestly, like I'm not as much of a square as you guys may think, because I don't, do the drugs. I do smoke weed on occasion, but
weed's not a drug.
I could not. I've never done a different drug besides weed. I cannot believe that.
Never done cocaine off the toilet seat in the bathroom?
I have never done that.
Wow.
Nope. No, have not. Did you blow your nose before you came out? This whole sniff and rubbing is, but it's first off allergies.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I realize my mustache is tickling my nose.
I don't know if you
know
know
you
this.
put the paper down when you sit down because of people like Rousseau.
I smoke rocks. Okay. Anyways, so these girls were wearing something that I could never, ever think was okay as a father. And their dads were like, hey, look at your daughter, Karen. You're looking at my daughter? Because I'm looking at your daughter. Okay, well, as long as we're not looking at our own daughter. It's like, what the fuck? It was
Nasty.
absurd. So maybe I am a square. But anyways, there was a recovering drug addict that
Party
even
like Biden party because the Biden.
I thought this story was supposed to make you not a square. Yeah.
Okay,
What?
well, this is where I'm going. This person was
Okay.
an ex drug addict, like they had, but it was like 35 years. But they have a really like they're a lot. They're just a lot, and I think that I recommended that they potentially think about using marijuana to qualm that. But I'm like, they've been 30 years sober from the hard stuff, and if they're not smoking the weed, I feel like it might have had a good effect. So. I don't know.
And
They
this
might
story
revert
makes you not a
back.
square. How?
Yeah,
They
guys.
might
Well,
revert
we just
back.
found out that Anthony's
Russo's a
story of
square.
not a square is the squarest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I recommended somebody smoke it because they're hyper. That's not a square.
Fine. You know what? I told her, why don't you just go mainline heroin and see what happens?
Start squirting it between your toesies. That's what's up.
Your toesies.
Yeah.
Get in line for the free crack pipes.
Yeah.
So the general
Seriously.
consensus, everybody in the chat, all right? The general consensus, Russo's a square 1. If he's not a square, put 2. We'll see what the audience says. I think this would be funny.
Oh snap!
With our demographic of 40 to
But wait.
65-year-old women, if I'm a square in this group, I probably
Wait.
need to.
What makes you a square? What makes you a square, Sudi? Define it.
Casey.
Oh Lord. Dang.
Yo, everybody's putting a 1.
Judy. That's what I'm talking about, Judy.
Oh, come on, Judy.
I'm turned.
I won. Doesn't matter.
I am quite lit, actually.
I'm quite lit. I don't know if you know this.
Let's
but,
get
You said
Witty.
turn, bro. Nobody says turn anymore. You're
I'm
square.
checking my watch, and it's a quarter past.
Let's get
lit.
hyphy, yo. Let's go.
Nobody says turn. Damn.
No, nobody says turn anymore.
Oh,
yeah.
Lit.
Hey, Mo, no cap. Nobody says turned anymore. Did I use that right?
It's just
Did I
cat.
use no cap right?
yeah, and nobody
You
listens to our
did.
bell. I guess I'm a square
She
with
said 3. That means I don't even know.
it. You're off the chart.
Okay, let's get started. Let's talk Super Bowl. Let's do culture first before Suni gets too high. So, for those just joining, let's raise your hand if you thought it was an epic Super Bowl top 2. Either this one or Prince was the number 1. If this was the top Super Bowl performance,
You're talking about the show. You're talking about
the show, not the sorry. I'm talking about the halftime show. Well, the rest of the Super Bowl, it's hot garbage.
I don't know if it's
The
like
Super Bowl was
number
great.
2. I don't know if it's number 2 because Prince singing "Purple Rain" as it was raining for me like was on point, but like this was definitely in the top 5.
Okay.
Right
Yeah.
behind Justin Timberlake and Janet Jackson.
Right, because
You only like that for other reasons.
I was watching it at church when that happened.
Oh man.
Did you Google?
So
Wow.
people can say Prince is better. I still think this was top 2. I don't know. Like I like Prince. I like this one better. I do think the Prince one was also incredibly epic because of the rain. I just know that Prince was a shithead, so I just already have it. Granted, these guys are shitheads too, but whatever. Top 2. Michael Jackson was the best of all time. His was when was that one? What was that? Early
90s.
2000s? When was it?
I thought he did one in the 90s.
Heal the world. I don't know. It was a little bit more of a, I don't know, whatever. I'm saying top 2, top 3. What is your
Yeah,
issue
93.
with the halftime show?
Honestly, didn't have like an issue with it because you know what you're getting when it comes to them. It was more so the influencers, bro. It was the influencers. I see shit on black people all day, every day. Stop the gang culture. Quit murdering each other. And then they were like hype as hell, listening to Dr. Dre talk about murdering and shoot motherfuckers in their faces and bitches. Of course, they bleeped it out. But I was like, bro, what is going on here? It's okay to like the show, but I'm like pointing things out that are actually in the show.
See,
That what would be symbolism, and people are just like, so what? I'm like, nobody said you couldn't enjoy it, but these things were in the show.
why are people saying that 50 Cent was so fat?
Because he's fat as hell.
He
Okay.
50 cents
That
turned
was-
into $1.
he just wasn't super skinny, but that dude could bench press all of us with one hand. He was yoked out of his mind. That wasn't fat. That was just muscle bloat. He was huge.
I thought it was Mike Jones, honestly, at first.
But you guys, we have to
don't.
remember their ages. Like, there's so much critique about how they look, and he's 46 years old. He looks pretty okay for a 46-year-old guy.
Do you know how he got upside down, Mo?
No. How did he get upside down?
So there's a video of it. He was, as they were finishing the act, he had I don't know if he had the microphone on him or in his pocket or whatever, did a pull-up, flipped himself upside down, hung his legs up, and went upside down to start rapping. That's not a fat, do that when you're 46.
You want to know what's funny is how many people don't know why he was upside down.
I know, right? I'm like,
Just
did
a
you not
funny
watch
image.
the video?
No, it's not funny image. It's a take back to his music video.
Who just
Because
said it was
he
a
did his
funny
music
image?
video that way.
See Lizzo and him try to do that move and see who looks better doing it, Lizzo or him.
Oh, Lizzo
Oh,
gorgeous.
That
see-
stage wasn't reinforced enough.
Because see, this was
she
my
would fall,
thing. Is
but California would separate.
I said y'all are critiquing 50 Cent because he had a little fupa, okay? But Lizzo is like spilling out like a busted can of biscuits in every damn picture she looks disgusting, but she's beautiful. I don't get that.
Oh,
I
I'm
didn't
just
see
in it
any
for the
fat
memes.
on. I didn't see any fat on him, dude. Like he just.
I'm in
he
it
got,
for the memes.
He was chubby. He was chubby.
I'm looking at it right now. He still has a waistline. He's just that dude that just
thought he
worked
looked
out
good.
too damn much. Like all he did was lift.
I don't.
Okay, I'm looking at it right
Okay.
now. He doesn't have back fat. Okay, I know what I'm gonna show one specific image, which is him from below. People like I guarantee you he does a crap ton of steroids, plain and simple.
Well, yeah.
You're gonna show what?
Like you can't be fat and have that kind of like
I don't know. He looks good to me. He looks
like
good.
that is not
No,
fat.
he's a very strong human being.
Oh God.
Wait, Russo. Bring
Yeah.
up the picture that you said that what's his name's junk was swinging around. Snoop's junk.
Not a picture. You have to watch it. Let's see.
Uh,
I'll go ahead and close this window. So all I could notice once I noticed it one time was the fact that it appeared as though Snoop Dogg had the reason why he is Snoop D-O double G is the double G is for the elongated size of his junk. And he probably does not wear underwear because it was just swinging around in his pants. Swanging. Let's see if I can catch a video of that. So here's my
yes,
question.
Anthony. I'm sure you would catch that video.
I didn't want to say it. I knew.
I'm sure you have it saved in your watch later.
I don't have it saved. I got to Google it.
He's like, I got to go find it, pretending like it's not the first tab open in his other Chrome.
Right, pretending it's not like his screensaver right now.
I can't. I did. I tried to.
Look at us talking about Snoop Dogg's penis. Let's go.
Well, it's funny because I guess there was a news article saying Dr. Dre says Eminem won't whip out his penis during the Super Bowl halftime show. It will be penis free. Apparently, the fact that that's even a news article. Dr. Dre told Eminem, Snoop Dogg, no penises out. So I guess, how is this? This is a real press conference. The hell?
Wow.
I didn't mean to look at it. I saw it. I was looking at a small screen, and then I could not unsee it. So
I know someone, I forget who, called it like sexual anarchy. I'm like, if you're looking at Mary J. Blige and thinking sexy anarchy, like, or,
Suni is all of a sudden thinking about her I've fallen and I can't get up meme right now. So the thing that I found interesting also is you had a bunch of conservatives like Charlie Kirk, I think is the one that said it. He's like,
that's what I was
so degrading towards women. And I'm like, okay, we've seen some, trust me, this looked nothing like the high school freshman prom that I saw. Like those girls were dressed like more skanks from the middle of Kansas City than the halftime performance. So I didn't think it was that risque at all. Did anybody else feel differently?
It was not risque. I did not think it was risque at all.
Do you know who thinks it's risque? People that are squares. People that are square and a half.
So Anthony's trying to hide the fact that he thought it was very risque. He goes, look at those thighs on Mary J. Blige, okay? That was you,
Suni,
Tony.
did you think it was a little too provocative, Stony Smurf?
No,
Stony Spring.
No.
no.
So what's your issues? You just think it was like old people rapping? Is that
No,
what
Good
it was
vibe.
it was the imagery. It wasn't even me vibing. Like I know all the songs. I grew up hearing it. It was the undertones. Like I said, they had body positivity cheerleaders
Oh yeah.
standing next to Snoop. Like no fucking cheerleader looks like that. We all know what they're doing with that. Then they had Snoop Dogg throwing up the Crip sign and Crip walking and doing all this stuff, and it was just like people condemn that, but then they celebrate it just because it's their favorite rapper. And I'm just like, they sell this music to their community. That's what I think of.
Was
Well,
that
but-
body? Go ahead, Mo.
I was going to say, the thing about it is this. I can listen to the most vile rap, whatever you want to tell me, kill, shoot, whatever, and that's not going to change who I am. The problem is when the wrong person who is highly influential, doesn't have a good, upbringing at home, parents that aren't involved, they're looking to this stuff as, oh, this is my role model. This is reality. They're really out here killing people. They're really out here selling drugs. When the reality is half these guys that rap about this stuff maybe used to do it back in the day, but they're not doing it anymore. So for me, I can get past all of the verbiage of all that stuff because for me personally, it doesn't affect me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really care.
So question, because soon you brought up the body positivity. I think the fact that we're in 2022, we assume it's body positivity, or is it just the fact we're finally embracing Black culture and they're just thicker girls and that's what the guys want?
Listen, I'm Black, all right? Born and bred. Do you see any fat hanging off me?
Were
No,
they-
I'm
were they
I'm a
like-
normal sized woman.
Obese?
Those women are not normal size.
No,
But
that's not
I know
normal.
some Black dudes that like them girls thick 'em.
Hey, that's cool if they like that, but it's a body positivity message because no cheerleader looks like that.
No.
Well, true.
They don't.
Were they dressed up fully as cheerleaders or were they like cheerleader-ish?
Absolutely.
I don't
They
know,
were
man.
cheerleaders.
You go to
I'll
like
send it to you.
some of those high schools in the hood in
Yeah.
LA. Those girls are thick.
Yeah, yeah. I think that they're just real. They're realistic Southside LA cheerleaders. That's all.
You didn't
They
even
were-
see him. Did you see him?
Yeah, I saw
Did
them,
you-
but they
Yeah.
weren't fully in like. I think they had the cheerleader skirt. They had like jean jacket on. They were big. I'm not saying they weren't big. Like,
Yeah, they were big.
This
But
is
Like
again,
you couldn't tell the front of their knees from the back of their knees. That's how big they were.
like let's just consider this, right? Body positivity. It is more important to tell people it is okay to be fat and unhealthy than anything. Like, we just suffered a pandemic where if you were not old or immunocompromised, being fat was the worst possible thing you could be.
actually,
this
in some
pandemic.
ways, it was worse than being immunocompromised.
Like,
Yeah.
if you want to help our country, if you want to talk healthcare costs, obesity is the most costly thing we freaking have in this country, healthcare wise.
They should introduce the dancers. Introducing the comorbidity dance crew.
Comorbidity.
Like, the body positivity thing, it's like, yeah, body positivity, and in the end, you're just leading to depression, early death, like all this other crap.
So
You're not helping anyone.
Speaking more of this, well, let's stick with the halftime show real quick because I do want to talk about the fact they did. I believe they seem to have played the Black national anthem before the Super Bowl, I believe, which cool. Candace Owens, your girl, Suni, she was a huge fan of the halftime show as well. What do you think about her? Because she speaks out against that culture all the time,
I
just
think it's
going gung ho
hypocritical.
for that.
I think
what?
it's hypocritical.
Right.
It's hypocritical. I might listen to this music, but you will never hear me big it up. You will never hear me or see me put a post online and say this is amazing and then go back and critique the very people who are influenced by that. I'm not going to do that because at the end of the day, wrong is wrong and right is right. I thought it was hypocritical. And a lot of people say, well, she's being sarcastic. And it's like, I don't know, bro, because she didn't follow it up with nothing. And if that's how she felt, she's entitled to that. Nobody's saying she can't feel that way. But I think it's absolutely hypocritical. Because the next time something goes down in the gang, in the hood, you know what she's going to do? She's going to condemn gang violence. She's going to condemn gang culture. What does Snoop and Dre represent? They started gangster rap. Like, come on. They started this genre. They're not talking about anything positive. So I thought it was hypocritical. That's
get
just
that.
it.
And yeah, the gang signs by Snoop are one thing. There was the scene where he did grab the whole Johnson. The But what?
How
What's
much
up?
cred does he have when he has a show with Martha Stewart?
It's a great
You're talking
question.
about, and I'm not trying to degrade
No, I was
black
just
people,
making a joke.
but they don't watch that shit. They can
No,
really
I know
give
that.
2 fucks if she's on there.
No, I know.
I think
But it-
it's crazy how he represents himself a completely different way, and then when they put him on the Super Bowl, which by the way, 2 black men produce this entire thing. These same black men will whine and gripe about the representation of black men, but then put a whole show on to showcase quote unquote black culture. It's whack. I didn't fuck with it just for those reasons right there.
That's fair.
So this because there was the whole it's a celebration of black culture, which is interesting because black culture that shouldn't be what we're celebrating, except for the fact this is what I saw. You have 2 black guys that produced the whole halftime show. You've got a sport that is predominantly African American people making millions of dollars a year. You have a halftime show that was for the main stars, 90% black, 80% black. You've got the dancers. You've got the I know where we're going with this one. Whoever brought that up. You've got the predominance of the dancers. It's all black people, which is awesome. But it also makes me go, how do people still? If we lived in this massively across the board racist country, this wouldn't be where we're at. That was a fully black halftime show.
Mhm.
And a bunch of conservatives love the show. The people that we think are racist and bigots and etc. We don't live in a racist country anymore. Is there still racist people? Yes. But do we live in a racist country anymore? I believe as though that is a big friggin' girl. You're right. Holy nuggets. I just saw the girl off to the
They
right.
don't look like that.
Yeah. So they might down the south side. But either way, I think it's very clear that to me is the evidence needed to realize we just don't live in a racist country or culture anymore.
But they were still talking. I think this morning on The Real, they were saying there still wasn't enough black representation in the Super Bowl. And I'm just like, I don't understand what you're talking about. Eminem was literally the only white person on that stage. Like, what's the problem?
He's the white face of black supremacy.
Right.
It just really reinforced the way society looks at black people. And I think ultimately that's sad, bro. That's super sad because you have some very intelligent, brilliant minds that don't behave like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's 28 days, bro. This is the best y'all could do. You couldn't pick like straight up nostalgic songs. You couldn't play Drop It Like It's Hot and have everybody going nuts. You had to pick the most violent, vile songs.
Yeah.
Well,
For
you know
everybody
what?
to be like, woo! Like, come on, man.
They were also
what's
they were
funny?
the most famous too.
You know
Drop
what
It
was
Like It's Hot
funny?
is just as famous as Dre Is Back or any other Snoop Dogg that's ever album that's dropped. I mean, single, my bad.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised on song choices, honestly. But
They went as Cali as they could. Where I grew up in LA, like they played What Is LA. All those songs made me think of SoCal, made me think of growing up in LA.
That was also
Growing up
part
in
of it.
growing up in the area, it was Cali as hell, except for Eminem. Like I was pissed off because I thought they were going for a SoCal vibe, like a specifically LA vibe, specifically from around the last time the Rams were in LA. And to me, it just felt like, throwing Eminem in there it really threw it off for me because I love Eminem and I thought he was out of place on
Agreed.
that stage with him.
Yeah, it didn't fit. I mean, I was happy to see Eminem there, but I don't think it fit because all the songs to me were California theme. I know you were about to say something.
They should have done a Tupac cover up there.
He's a token white boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the white face of black supremacy. I'm telling you.
White face of black rap. Go ahead, Mel.
I just wanted to kind of add on to what Sudi was saying. Is like this morning I was listening. This is not about the Super Bowl, but this was about the Vogue cover that came out for Black History Month. Is they were mad that Kim Kardashian was on there with her spray tan appropriating black culture, apparently, because she was once again looking like Naomi Campbell, right? So they were like, why couldn't they have put somebody like Andre Leon Talley, who was the editor at large for Vogue, who was black, who was gay, as the cover of Vogue? And I was thinking in my head, why not put somebody like Sidney Poitier, who was a genius, okay, in not just a literary genius, but in the world of film and poetry. That's where their mind is at. Like they look at these people that are tied to fashion, that are tied to entertainment, and that's who they look up to, and that's what the problem is.
I agree.
Well, In Kim Kardashian's defense, she's had more black in her than most, even black
True.
women.
Very true.
That was it though. Look. I'm not one of those people, or I can turn my brain off and just sit and watch the idiot box and be entertained by it. I saw what I saw, and what I saw I didn't like, and I spoke out on it. And of course people got mad, but it's just like, I don't care, man. I'm in this to fight a bigger battle than you giving me likes and views, man. I want people to wake up and see what's being pushed and showcased about a specific group of people that always whine. It's more so to show black people, like, you always whine and complain about how you're represented, but you do nothing to fight back. You take on these clown roles. You like to shake your ass in front of a camera just to get a few likes and stuff, and that's what they show you as. So when people treat you as such, this is why. This is disgusting. It's Black History Month, which I don't like, but these people claim to like it, and this is what you showcase as black culture.
Have you ever, speaking of like weird shit people do and just shake their ass for weird amounts of money, have you ever watched I did TikTok live the other night, so I did like 2 hours of politics, which was really interesting because it grew to like 200 people, went down to like 50, and I actually had some liberals that were like going in hard, and they ended up actually following me afterwards, been like, this is the most peaceful conversation with a conservative ever. I can't get you mad. And I'm like, I don't get mad. Anyways, but what's funny, if you want to go down the rabbit hole of people, weird shit people do, have you ever like just scrolled through the lives late night on TikTok?
No,
I don't have TikTok because like I'm not a middle-aged man trying to get attention from young people.
It's weird, bro. Like you'll have these pages. No, hit it. It was the weirdest thing because I was about to go live, so I'm like scrolling through and I'm like, what is happening? So you'll see like white girls, black girls, whatever, it doesn't matter, Latino girls that are just sitting there like trying to collect money from people by like just barely showing enough to where like people get a little interested, and then like they'll start shaking their ass and being like, oh, thank you for the roses. I'm like, holy shit, this is like modern day prostitution. This is fascinating. This is creepy. And they're like getting ready to go out to the club. I'm like, we live in a whole new world.
No, no one tell Russo about OnlyFans.
Well, I know what OnlyFans is.
They sell ceiling fans and side fans and car fans.
I get it. But that's like where people pay for a subscription and it's set up that way. TikTok, I didn't think was like set up that way, and it's just it's creepy.
They figure out a way to monetize all of it.
So late night TikTok, this goes on. Like how late? Like, is it past my bedtime? Because I go to sleep early.
No, like I don't know. I was on the other night at like 11 o'clock is when I did mine, and that was when it was on. It's weird because then you also have the ASMR people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I like that. Oh,
there's some good ones on there, and they've got like 7,000 people watching them at a time. The one that's really fun. Now I'm sounding like a weirdo. These guys will set up like ping pong courses where they'll do trick shots over and over, and they'll just talk to people. There's 3,000 people watching for them to try to get it through the thing and then into the final cut. Bunk, bunk, over and over again.
What kind of society do we live in where 3,000 people can just sit there and watch that?
Not gonna lie, super hard to turn it off.
Listen, I literally, to fall asleep sometimes, watch pimple popping videos because I'm obsessed.
I love those. I love them.
Oh my god! Like, you guys,
I thought I was the only one.
Don't think bad of me, but my mouth like literally like waters like as I'm watching.
Oh, that's a little
like. I'm just like, oh my god, because I just need to like get my hands on like a big zit that's just gonna like explode. Oh.
I love pimple popping.
Dude, drop a comment if you guys drop your weird thing that you watch on YouTube that you don't like. You don't want to share with anybody. Here's the chance right now. We're not going to judge you. Drop it in the comments.
Drop it in the comments. We're not going to share it with anybody. You're just going to put it on the internet.
I watched the last one you sent me, Mo. The last one you sent, I almost threw the fuck up. I was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
it was big. Ew.
It was big and it like popped out. Oh.
No, it's more than just pimples too, because they'll have like cysts. They'll like be like messing with the thing, and then I can't. It's so good. It's so good.
There's this bot fly that dogs get down in like South Africa.
Wait a minute. Can you pull that comment back up? Where the fuck are you watching this?
There's Deer Cam. There's Deer Cam. Yeah. I watch them all the time. So does Emily. Like Emily literally has one up on her screen right now.
Is it fun? I mean, like, what are they eating?
You're just watching deers eat.
Yeah, you just watch
Okay.
wildlife. That's all it is. Just watching real
I
wildlife.
have
Mo, you're
never seen a
muted.
YouTube channel.
Mo, you're
I'm
muted.
muted?
Yeah,
No,
oh, there you go.
no.
Never mind. You're there.
She's there.
Okay, no, I literally like you type in like live cams around the world and you'll find like the craziest shit.
Oh my god.
Like animals eating,
I'm
like
gonna do
all
this
kinds of
right
weird
now.
Soon he's like, I'm high as shit. That sounds good. Let's watch some deer eating corn, man. Woo!
Hey, I like my kids got
Oh.
me hooked on
Weed?
these big ass trucks running over shit.
Dude,
Okay.
Chinese
Like
car
these big
crash
trucks and
compilations.
they run over. I
No,
love
no.
watching those too.
I love
Lady,
car crash compilations.
this like Korean lady, and she literally like wrestles a live octopus that she's gonna eat, but the shit like comes out of a box and she's like, oh, and the thing is like choking her and she's like wrestling it to the ground, like hilarious. And then she like sits there, it's like an ASMR, and then she like sits there and she like moans and like eats the thing while she's like smacking. Everybody I'm gonna send you guys a link to this because it's the weirdest thing. It's the
Oh,
weird, like the fact that people. She's got like millions of followers. Okay, we're like, yeah.
Okay. Well,
Wait, you
Those
ever
are
watch
weird.
the Chinese dude on TikTok? And he goes,
There's only one
There's only one Chinese dude on TikTok.
yeah, only one Chinese guy.
he's the most famous one. The rest of them suck. And he like shaves off his hair. Yo, he's funny as shit. You guys ever seen it? I'm gonna send you that video.
I've seen the
He does
the-
ridiculous
I've
stuff.
seen the Chinese
The
guy
guy who does like naked tricks and stuff like
That's
that.
the guy I'm thinking of. Have the naked
Not that
tricks guy
dude.
where he's like, and then after he gets done, he's like,
He looks back at the camera.
yeah.
They're wonderful.
Wow.
Okay, moving on. Now that we've
Man,
completely gone off the
people are
rails.
weird.
Let's all
People-
right, guys, here, do us a favor. Let's see how many people are watching on the other side. We got 13 people, so this will be our last story that we do while we are on this page. Please head to, if you see this. What do you guys want to talk about next?
I mean, we have a legitimate like totalitarian government forming to our northern border.
Let's go to
You hear anything
Canada.
about it?
Let's do Canada.
Let's do Canada there, Abe. Somewhere in the middle of this, I'm going to go ahead and pull the feed, so I might just say it at the time, just because I feel like every time we talk about Canada is when we start getting squashed by certain things. Yeah, go ahead. Go and lead the story, Keverino.
Yeah, let's hear
Yep.
Kevin's side.
So, as we all know, the trucker convoy in Ottawa is on what it's like third or fourth week at this point. There is a concerted media campaign to paint every single participant in this as an alt-right extremist. It is what we're seeing right now is you have people on the left who are traditionally of the working class saying, no, screw the working class. We like big daddy government. Please govern us harder. Go ahead, Daddy Trudeau, as these horrible, disgusting protesters who were terrible enough to bring their own porta potties and bouncy castles and clean up after themselves and take care of the communities they're in. Because of those horrible terrorist actions, as we all know, Justin Trudeau has invoked the Emergency Powers Act up in Canada. Because what Fidel's children do, I mean, not saying he's Fidel's kid. Not
Correct.
saying that he's the bastard child of Fidel Castro. Those are all allegations. They cannot be proven. It's just weird that they have a similarity and his mother was in the area 8 months prior to his birth. It's just weird. Okay. So yeah, guys, they invoked for only the second time. Well, the first time the Emergency Power Act has ever been invoked. They are calling in the ability to go after bank accounts now. They are trying to treat people who donate on GiveSendGo as equal to terrorists, which, though you guys might not be aware of this, that kind of inclusion can potentially land you with certain intelligence agencies on a list that's actually able to be collected on. So there's serious ramifications behind the words being used, behind the powers being given, and we are seeing the actual potential fall of a liberal democracy to the northern border of us right now.
I think you summed it up
Crazy.
well. And yeah, it's insane. So Justin, and I brought this up on a show I did earlier. Have you seen the clip of Trudeau when I believe when he was campaigning, he got interviewed by one of the Canadian news groups in front of a live audience, and he said that he had a ton of respect for China.
Yes.
And the reason he had a ton of respect for China was because they're a dictatorship that stays very flexible because they are able to make fast decisions. So essentially, to summarize what he meant by that is China has the ability of making quick decisions in government because one person is in charge. The people don't have a voice. There is no vote that needs to happen. There is no checks and balances, and you can actually make drastic changes, which was something that he idolized before he was in office and is currently doing while he is the prime minister. It's in his genes.
Real quick on that point, because I noticed something about it. He literally sits there and talks about how he admires the single largest totalitarian dictatorship on planet Earth. And he's able to get away with it because he does a very interesting psychological trick. He's there loving on it and then accuses his opponent of being the one who would actually prefer it, gets the joke out there. All of a sudden, people are laughing, viewing him as the good guy, as he's just told them
Sounds familiar.
He loves communist China.
Sounds familiar. Yeah. Yeah, he did. He made the joke about the other guy in that comment, but it's a short version of the long form what we've done in this country. When Trump was in office, they were saying all these things about him, and then now they're doing it now that they are in charge. It's the exact same thing. So they're being able to seize bank accounts. They're fighting to seize bank accounts. They've enacted this Emergency Powers Act. They have essentially there's $100,000 fines. He has threatened to make sure that truckers no longer have their business licenses. They're not allowed to work. Meanwhile, he is polling so insanely low amongst the people that actually voted for him. There is no chance he will be reelected. Does anybody actually know when the reelection is in Canada?
Years. He just got reelected.
Yeah, he just got reelected last year, I think is what it was.
Can they do a recall there, or how do they do it?
There's a process for it. I don't know exactly what it is, but there is a process.
Are they still a part of the kingdom? Are they still, or did so there is also the fact that at any point, if Queen Elizabeth looks over across the pond and goes, this is getting a little whack, she can actually do something about it.
Supposedly there's already talks of that happening.
It says here Canada does not have legislation allowing for recall elections on a federal level.
Because they're a monarchy.
But there's a process that they can still go through to remove an elected official. It's not necessarily a recall, but you can change it.
Well,
but with Queen Elizabeth, with the Queen, she can actually do it too. If she doesn't like it and say, for example, Canada caves to the truckers, she might call for it anyways. Because she also does make decisions still in other countries too, like Australia. And it's another one in Europe that she's involved in.
The Faroe, not the Faroe. It's is it Gibraltar? I don't remember. It's like some small little territory.
So she can really encourage a lot. Like the Queen is on their money. Still.
I'm reading about it right now.
The thing is that they do still, like, they are independent, but they do still follow the rules of the constitutional monarchy. They are a constitutional monarchy. The Queen has never used her powers, but you can damn well be sure that if there is something that she would use it over, it is some kind of tyrannical overreach, because at the end of the day, she is still the one in charge.
Right.
Like, and she knows it. And that's the whole point of a monarchy, is at the end of the day, especially with the way she runs it, you know who is actually in charge. No single person underneath her can actually take all the power, because the people, it is very important that the British people still respect the image of the Queen, even though it's very symbolic nowadays. It represents something beyond just the government that's in control of them.
So what happens when she dies? Did she name somebody before she dies that would like step into her?
I think it just goes down the family chain.
Yeah, it just goes. She has a lot of children.
Yeah.
But the issue is going to be, well, the next person that's supposed to get it is like almost 80 now, because she's 100 years old at this point.
Right.
So do you want to give the crown off to an 80-year-old?
No, we can tell you from experience that's not a good idea.
Look around. I think the successor is around 50, is in his 50s, which would be good. Probably not going to be
Who's the Governor General?
Governor General?
Look that up, because it appears as though the Governor General, which I believe would be based out of England, could dissolve the Parliament, which would result in Canadians going to the polls to elect their local members of Parliament again. During that, Justin Trudeau would remain the PM during the election, and if the Liberals again won a majority, then he would remain the Prime Minister.
Yeah. So interesting. So Mary Simon is appointed by the Queen. Her appointer is the Monarch of Canada. on the advice of the prime minister. So the prime minister kind of recommends who it's supposed to be, but their power is derived directly from Queen Elizabeth.
So they can. So that person can dissolve the parliament if they dissolve the parliament. It's a complete revote. If Liberals are still in charge after the revote, then Justin Trudeau would remain the prime minister, which would defeat the whole purpose of why I'm sure they would do that. So it's I mean, maybe it's time for them to overthrow the government. They're making America look real good right now. So even though we are also an absolute shit show. Okay, so that's the truckers updates. Where are we at on numbers? We've got 11. Perfect. We're doing a 1 minute countdown, ladies and gentlemen. 1 minute countdown. If you see the YouTube on your screen, I'm sending. If you see this, please switch. Putting it up right now. We're gonna switch to only one YouTube in a second. We're getting rid of the second be the change one. Just because we have to be careful what we say on that page. 30-second countdown, going down to 30 seconds. We've got 12 people on that page right now. 12, count them 12, please. Click. I feel like an auctioneer. We got 12, we got 12, we got 13. We shouldn't have 13. Number should be going down. Number should be going down. Let's get those numbers down. Switch over to the other backup page. Suni's got a weird issue going on with her head right now. I don't know what's happening with her. Look at Suni. Are you pooping right now? You good? Hold on, let me pull it up. What is it?
Oh, she's watching the video I sent her of the chick eating the squid.
Oh god.
I sent it to you guys too.
We're down to 10. All right, 10.
Yeah, so also another side of it is I've got video here of Justin Trudeau leaving Parliament today. He was getting yelled at. I want to play it really quick because it's not like this is all happening. So it does have to get approved. It does have to be approved by the legislature
by
to
the
have
parliament.
these powers. Yeah, in the parliament to have these powers. Here it is. Okay, so
Yes.
I've got it right here.
5, 4, 3.
And it's going to get approved. They're not going
2,
to stop it.
1. All right, we're switching it out of that YouTube right now.